This is green chile chicken tamales, or Chile Verde Tamales. This is a tasty and fairly simple, easy Mexican dish. A little time consuming, but so worth it. It contains seasoned chicken, a variety of green chilies, and it's wrapped in cornmeal dough. It's then steamed in corn husks. It's savory, filling, gently nutty, and slightly spicy. There are a variety of ways to make tamales. This is just one way to do it, and this is my version, the way I've learned how to do it. Start off by completely soaking the corn husks in hot water. To make the filling, I'm adding chicken stock to a large pot, and I'm going to bring it to a simmer. As it starts to simmer, I'm going to add the onion, garlic, cilantro, and chicken breast. You can also use bone-in chicken and skip the stock and just use broth or bouillon. Whatever you have on hand is fine. Bring it to a boil and cook for about 30 minutes, then turn off the heat and drain using a strainer. Don't discard the broth, you'll need this for later, and allow the chicken to cool and set to the side. For more flavor, in a comal grill or small frying pan on high heat, you're going to want to add the chili peppers and allow them to char and blister for a few minutes on all sides. Once that's done, go ahead and add the tomatillos to a blender. Add the toasted peppers, the poblano, the jalapenos, and the serranos, as well as the onion, garlic, cilantro, salt, and the leftover chicken stock. And you're going to want to blend this until smooth and set to the side when done. Depending on the ingredients used, I used a variety of chili peppers and some cilantro. This determines the green hue. So some will have a lighter sauce, some will have a darker sauce. Also, if you can't handle the heat or it's too spicy, go ahead and de-seed the peppers before toasting. Now I'm going back to my chicken breast, which should be cool by now, and I'm going to shred with a fork and with my hands, and I'm going to set it to the side when I'm done. Set aside some salsa for garnish. Then on medium-high heat, pour the remaining of the salsa into a large pot, add the shredded chicken, and allow it to simmer for 10 minutes. When it's done, allow it to cool and set it to the side. Now for the masa or dough, I'm adding instant corn mix masa to a large mixing bowl, and then I'm going to add the baking powder and salt, and I'm going to combine this well. Next, I'm adding the shortening to the dough, and I'm going to mix very well. You can also use lard or butter, but those may require slightly different measurements. Now I'm adding chicken stock to the bowl, and I'm going to gently mix and fold the dough together. The masa should not be too sticky, so this is a process, and as I'm doing this, I'm like slowly adding in chicken stock, so you can kind of do little by little or go ahead and throw in all the cups at a time. It just depends, but you basically want your dough to look something like this. And I'm going to press a little bit through with my thumb, and you can kind of see that thumbprint, so it's not too sticky, and this is kind of how you want your corn masa to be. Otherwise it'll be too nutty or it just won't turn out right. Although this is a fairly simple recipe, it is time consuming. I have kids, so it took me a while, but I got it done in tasks. So you can make the sauce one day, the masa the next, break it up so it's not overwhelming. You can also have tamales get-together parties and get it done quicker. The point is to have fun. Since it is a process, cover the dough with a very wet paper towel, more than damp, in order to keep it soft while assembling the tamales. Now grab a soaked corn husk and lay it flat on a surface, smooth side up. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and tear the side of the corn husk, and this is going to be used as the ties for the tamales. This is optional, but I like to tie the tamales. Some do this for presentation, to secure more tightly, and even to differentiate between the variety of tamales. We just want to make sure that there's room on the right and left side of the husk for the masa. There are a few ways to assemble tamales. You can use a spoon or really any kitchen utensil to spread the masa. One easy, fast, and even way is to use a tortilla press by placing 2 tablespoons of masa at the center between 2 parchment papers. Then close the press, open the press, and gently remove the masa from the parchment paper. And I'm going to lay this evenly on the husk. It should look something like this. You can also place a ball of masa on the husk and then add the parchment paper on top. However, it can get messy, and sometimes the masa is too close to the border, which you will then have to remove in order to properly fold the husk over the filling. Here I grabbed a soaked corn husk and I'm laying it on a flat surface. It's okay if it has a little rip or tear at the end, that's totally fine. You won't see it when you wrap it, and the tamales will still come out great. So now that the corn husk is laid on a flat surface, I'm going to spread the masa and place 2 generous spoonfuls of filling down the center of the dough. Now, I'm not overfilling it. Some people don't like a lot of filling, some people do. I personally don't want to bite my tamales and just eat the masa. Like, I want an even amount. So I think just putting 2 tablespoons is sufficient enough. For the folding, I'm folding one side of the corn husk in over the filling. Now I'm going to take the other side and fold it in, overlapping the initial hold. Then I'm bringing the pointed end of the husk toward the filled end for a tight fold. And it should look something like this. Again, totally optional, but I'm going to tie the tamale by holding it together to have a more detailed look. And these were stripped earlier from the corn husk. Next, you're going to need a deep pot or any steamer to cook the tamales. You want the tamales upright. I used a large steaming pan. It's what I had on hand. It wasn't that deep, but it worked perfectly. Use what you have. If using a steaming pan, fill it up to the water line, set the rack on top of the water, then place the tamales upright and secure with the lid. Cook on high for 15 minutes and then turn down to low and cook for about an hour. You know your tamales are done when you can remove the husk without it sticking. Now allow your tamales to cool for a few minutes and enjoy as is, or serve with your favorite salsa, rice, and/or beans. For large batches, wrap in plastic and secure in a freezer Ziploc for complete freshness. Full recipe link will be in the description below. Follow me on Instagram at Reese's Recipes for more easy, fun, and festive dishes. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Many blessings, friends.